Any questions? Item B, discussion and appropriate action related to possible purchase of a 2017 Ford Utility Interceptor Ford Explorer at the state bid price of $34,105 on a lease purchase basis with annual payments of $7,602.28.
To give you guys all the information on that is, well, there's a short, well, kind of long synopsis on the front. Just simply, our citations offset the cost of that, so.
I thought in December, didn't we? I thought we approved $18,000 for a vehicle. Why are we approving now, asking for a $34,000 vehicle?
I have no idea what.
And you asked for $40,000 to buy 2 vehicles.
That was on a grant, if you guys.
It doesn't matter, you asked for 2 vehicles for $40,000 to buy 2 vehicles. We approved to buy one for $18,000. We approved to spend $18,000 on one.
That was on the grant, Gary, and
Okay.
we didn't get it.
Okay, did we get a new grant for $34,000?
No, that's, the annual payment would be $7,602.
So we're gonna pay $600 a month for another vehicle that's gonna sit 95, we've got one out here that's sit probably 90% of the time in the last 8 months.
We're replacing that one.
Why?
Because if you would have read what I gave you.
I know, but I wanna know, why are we replacing it? Why do we need a new vehicle for?
Because that vehicle is not optimal for law enforcement. That Mike Smith bought that. That was not me. I had nothing to do with that vehicle. It shouldn't have been bought as a police vehicle, but it was.
Why don't we buy a sedan for like $20,000 instead of buying a $35,000 SUV? Every other police department drives sedans. Why do we need a $34,000
What's
vehicle?
that? Not
Huh?
on it anymore.
What?
Not on it anymore.
Well, why? You don't want the people spirit to hear what you have to say?
They can hear what I say.
Well, they want to
They
see
don't
you.
have to see me. They see me every day.
So why do we need a $34,000 vehicle? Why wouldn't a $20,000 sedan work?
Where are you going to get the $20,000 sedan?
Well, why don't, I'm sure I'm sure the police vehicles that Tulsa drive don't cost $34,000.
I bet you they do.
Oh, come on, Justin. How could a
Come on, Gary.
How could a car like that cost $34,000?
This is what everybody buys from, every police department and some of the fire
What I'm
departments.
saying is, why do we need a 34th? Why do we need a brand new one?
Why not?
Why?
Do the citizens not deserve better police vehicles?
What are these vehicles being used for, Justin?
Patrol, Gary.
Patrol?
Do you know what cops do?
They are.
Well,
They're spending a considerable amount of money in repair on the vehicles that we have now too.
I haven't seen that in the last few months. There is some that's being spent on repairs.
Well, I gave all the information. I mean, it's up to you guys what we do from here.
We have 3 police vehicles that are used quite often right now, and there's a Suburban that sits, like Gary said, most of the time.
And the 3 that are used quite often are for our guys that are paid that use them quite often. We have one vehicle out there that always serves as backup and is used by our reserves and utilized.
And what's wrong with that situation?
What do you mean what's wrong with that situation?
Well, why can't we continue the way it is right now? Why do we need another vehicle?
Because I don't need that Suburban. That Suburban has cost us a lot of money in fuel as well as weight and length. It does not work for us as a police vehicle. Okay? I've got 3 vehicles right now that have 150,000 plus miles on them. I got one with a transfer case out on it. It's time to start replacing vehicles. And it's common sense that we have to replace vehicles every once in a while.
I just have a hard time understanding, this city, from City Hall, within a half a mile radius, there's probably 90% of the population lives within a half a mile. Within 1 mile encompasses the entire city limits. Why do we have to have 4 vehicles? We have 3 now. Why do we even need 4 vehicles?
Because we're on call more than Sioux is. We're on call 24/7. Doesn't matter if it's Christmas, doesn't matter what it is. We're constantly.
well, how many are on call? Are all 4 of you on call?
The 3 of us are.
Well, why don't we have a policy? Why don't we have a policy like Sousa's going to do? We have one man who's designated to be on call. and he takes the car home, the rest of them stay up here.
Because that just doesn't work. I mean, we gotta come in and back.
How many call-outs have you made in the last 6 months?
Oh, probably 20, 25, somewhere
You
in
don't
there.
document these?
Dispatch does.
Are they documented calls?
Dispatch.
Anytime we're called out, they're documented.
Okay. So we had, how many different officers were called out 25 times?
Me, him, because we're supervisors. We're always on call.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if it's 7 o'clock in the morning or 3:30 in the morning.
Okay, that's 2 of you on call at a time. Why do we need 4 vehicles then?
We've got 2 full-time guys and 1
Right.
part-time guy.
Right?
The Suburban is for 4 other reserves. 4 other people use that vehicle.
And it still isn't used that often.
It's always used.
It
It's
sits
used
out there 90% of the time. Don't tell us it's always used.
It's
The public is free.
every single
Why do we
day.
need a new vehicle? Now, time I drive by, the big one's sitting out there.
Here's the
Never
deal.
moved.
I've given you everything for why we want to replace it. I've given you all the information. It's just a simple yes or no from the board at this point. And we don't need to be belittled about it. We're sitting here, I gave you
We're
the
not
answers.
being belittled, we're just trying to get
I've
answers.
given you the answers. But the problem is you guys continue to dig until you get a reaction out of something.
This is the taxpayers' money we're talking about.
Absolutely. We love our citizens. We take care of our citizens.
I think we can find, if we need something, we can find something a lot cheaper than $600 a month, plus insurance, plus maintenance.
Our citations offset that cost. I've given you everything I got.
If we had a new police vehicle, would we increase the number of citations?
Absolutely not. I can't even give you an answer on that. We
That's
can't,
illegal. We can't give you more tickets just because we got a new car.
can't have quotas.
Well, that's what you're saying. You're saying it's gonna pay for itself.
They
I'm
just
going
enforce the
on.
law, they just enforce the law, that's what they do.
Let me ask you this, assuming that we would approve this, and a part of this is that you can get the loan at 3.5% interest, somewhere in here, maybe the next page, it has an institution that would loan for that. Why wouldn't we use a local bank for that?
Because this is
Wouldn't
where
a
the
local
state,
bank be,
this is where Ford, the state bid list, has this all set up at. That is 3.5 interest. You're not gonna get that here. You're not gonna get that in Skytier. This is Welch State Bank that deals with the state. That is the set price for town.
These have to be at least.
has anybody checked to see if a local bank would give us 3.5?
We have in the past, and they will not. They wouldn't even get us anything close to that. But this is state bid pricing, and this is the lowest you can get. The state has went out and got all this stuff for the municipalities and counties and said, here, this is the lowest everybody has given us.
If you're not gonna pay cash for a vehicle, or some other equipment, cities have to do a lease purchase agreement, where the money is appropriated year to year to pay the lease purchase amount. So,
I just don't see the need for a new vehicle, and I won't be voting for it.
Anybody else got anything?
I'll make a motion that we go into a lease purchase agreement for a total of $34,105 for the purchase of a new Ford utility interceptor. With annual payments not to exceed $7,602.28.
I'll second that.
Ms. Birch?
Yes.
Mr. Butler?
Yes.
Mr. Winston?
No.
Mr. Eaton?
No.
And Mr. Johnson?
No.